want to talk about your point of attraction. We want to talk about how you know what your point of attraction is. And so we're just going to be really brief here, and then we're going to open it to what you want to talk about. Your point of attraction is everything, and we just want to remind you that your point of attraction has two powerful facets, because you were source energy before you came into this physical body, and that inner being part of you still is one point of attraction. Your inner being is aware of you here, but your inner being, all of you, didn't come. In other words, the source of you remains non-physically focused in a non-resistant state. So as you are here in your physical body and you're sifting and sorting and evaluating and deciding and determining what you want, you're launching rockets of desire which your inner being captures and identifies and isolates and becomes one with, so that that point of attraction for you on your behalf is very powerful. So when you ask for an improvement in anything, that inner being part of you begins to live it immediately. And the law of attraction responds to that non-physical part of you. The law of attraction is also responding to the physical part of you, who may be, like this woman that we were describing, protesting the injustice of your moment. And so as the law of attraction is responding to your inner being's pure, clear request on your behalf, and your convoluted resistant request, your push and pull request, you've got a sort of tug of war going on inside of you that is exactly what negative emotion is. Anytime you feel negative emotion, it means the law of attraction is responding to who you really are and what you really want and who you're being right now in this red hot minute. So anytime you feel negative emotion, it always means that. It always means you are not a cooperative component to your own desire. You are the only holdout, because when you've asked and your inner being has become the vibrational equivalent of your asking, and the law of attraction is responding to that. And we want to remind you that when the law of attraction is responding to a non-resisted vibration, the power of that is unspeakable. This is the energy that creates worlds. So when your inner being is attracting on your behalf, it is a very big deal. And when you contradict your own request with your awareness of what is, which isn't yet sometimes, often, almost always the full-blown manifestation of what you're asking for, then you are the one, you in your physical body are the one introducing resistance into this equation, and you feel it, don't you? But when you are feeling joy or love or clarity or appreciation, when you're feeling those things that feel like interest, now that means that in that moment you're not contradicting. In that moment you are a cooperative component to your own desire. And when you are a cooperative component to your own desire, then you get to feel energy in motion. Then you get to witness things coming into place for you. Then you get to be the eyes on it, ears on it. You get to be the aware one watching you, allowing your creation to come into being right before your eyes. It's thoughts turning to things right before your eyes. Thoughts turning to things. That's why you're here in this physical body. You're here in a time and space that manifests so that you can see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it. It's why you're here. And your inner being is not here seeing and smelling and tasting and touching and feeling. Your inner being is not having those experiences of your physical senses. Your inner being is the vibrational equivalent of all that you have become, and is joyously reveling in your expansion. So, as we're visiting here today, we want to talk with you about whatever's on your mind. Whatever it is that you want some fine-tuning about, that's what this is about. But most of all, most of all, we want you to leave this gathering so aware of what your true point of attraction is, and so wanting and willing and practicing and becoming your own cooperative component to your own desires. That woman that Esther was watching getting onto the plane and watching as she was on the plane, she didn't become a cooperative component to her own desires until she fell asleep. And as soon as she woke up, she stopped being a cooperative component all over again. because she is what so many humans are. She is so aware of the right now manifestation, such a conditional liver of life, that if the condition pleases her, then she's pleased. Hardly ever happens for her. If the condition doesn't please her, then she's not pleased, which means she just keeps getting more and more and more of what she does not want. But if you can find a way to get out ahead of it, to decide that you're going to be pleased before you stumble into something where you're not pleased, then you have a better chance of remaining pleased, even if you're standing in the middle of something that isn't pleasing you. And here's why we think that would be a good idea and not hard for you to do. When you ask for something, it is always logical that you're asking for something that isn't yet. In other words, you're asking for more money because you want more money. There's logic in that, isn't there? So if you're asking for more money, but you're looking at what is, then you're not looking for more money, are you? You're looking for not enough money if you're looking at what is. But Abraham, aren't I supposed to be honest? Well, you could be true to who you really are. You could be true to the vibrational becoming. You could be true to your desire. You could be true to your true value. You could be true to your request. You could be true to the promise of your experience. You could be true to who you really are. You could be true to the whole notion of deliberate creation. But as humans, sometimes you think that you have to be so objective, so you weigh the pros and the cons, split energy, the pluses and the minuses, split energy, the yays and the nays, split energy, the rights and the wrongs, split energy. Where if you could just use the power of your mind by caring about how you feel to figure out what thought your inner being is in alignment with. Oh, your non-resisted, pure positive energy, inner being, God's source from which you have come. If you could just figure out what that perspective is. It's not hard. When you're not loving, you can feel something's jacked up. When you feel insecure, something is really off. And it's not the world, and it's not the universe, and it's not the law of attraction. It's your perspective.